Welcome. Here we are, almost at the end of the foreshortened trading day in the European markets, just ahead of the US cash open. I thought it's worthwhile taking stock of Bitcoin, which has had a very volatile week. We've seen declines in excess of 30% overall in the week. And put this into some sort of context. This is not a trade idea by any means. It's just to put the move that we've seen this week into some sort of context for you. Let's look at the chart for Bitcoin. This is the ordinary traditional Bitcoin. It's not cash, it's not the futures. This is the old Bitcoin, and it's in dollars. And the chart here shows that at the far right hand side we've seen this open up the week at just shy of 20,000, and at the low point as of this Friday's trade, 12,532. So this week has seen declines of just over 36.5%. Now that looks like a massive drop. It's come down to around about the previous lows that we saw at a couple of weeks ago. So it is at a sort of semi-support level down here, which it's bounced off. But I think this decline here can be seen in the context of some of these other moves that we've seen. And if you go all the way back to the beginning of this year, when Bitcoin was in its relative infancy, but of course, I mean, we're talking something that's almost nine years old at the moment now. This is a drop of almost 35%, very similar sort of percentage move that we saw, down from 1150 all the way down to 750. Now that was at the very beginning of January this year. And we then saw another decline of around about the same sort of percentage move from the 12th of March. And you can see the recovery that went on after that. Just want to bring up this one that we had here, which was the beginning of September, which was when Bitcoin was 49.23, and then it dropped some 39% all the way down to this support line here at 2980, and then the recovery went on the way through. Now around about this sort of line here, we had Jamie Dimon from JP Chase saying that Bitcoin was a fraud, and he would try and get his staff to avoid trading Bitcoin at all costs, and those that did would face the severest of penalties from within the company. Since then, we've seen Bitcoin lift off from 5,460 to its high peak up at 19,764. Now this almost parabolic rise that we've seen in Bitcoin has been checked this week with this most recent decline of 36%. So you can see in the context of these other declines that we've seen, this by percentage moves at least is the same sort of move that we've seen before. And I think it's worthwhile looking at Bitcoin in this context. Where it goes from here remains to be seen, but of course there are certainly a lot more people interested in Bitcoin, certainly a lot more people talking about Bitcoin, and a lot more people are finding it tougher than they perhaps maybe thought of getting in and getting out, more specifically getting out of Bitcoin, especially when you're a small investor. But at the moment at least, we're off the lows on the trading day on Friday. But these declines of 36.5% have been seen before, and doubtless we could well end up seeing them again. Which direction remains to be seen, but certainly Bitcoin has seen this sort of pattern in this year before.